Welcome back to Movie Recaps. Today I will explain the sequel to the disaster movie Greenland. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins 5 years after the Clark comet destroyed more than 75% of life on Earth. The planet has not recovered. Debris from the comet still orbits the Earth, and fragments continue to fall randomly. John Geedy and his family survived by hiding in a bunker in Greenland along with thousands of others. The world above ground is no longer stable. Radiation has burned large areas, and sudden electromagnetic storms sweep across the surface, destroying everything in their path, forcing humanity to live underground. After 5 years, the people inside the bunker have adapted to their new way of life. John now works as an engineer and a scout, regularly going outside to check conditions and search for resources. During one mission, John discovers a new crack in the earth with lava pouring out nearby. He continues toward the sea, where he finds lifeboats and a destroyed cruise ship resting on the shore. All of them are empty, and he boards the ship hoping to find something useful, when the base warns him that a storm is forming, but says it will take time to reach him. John begins coughing badly and removes his mask while searching the ship. Inside a book, he finds a preserved flower. Suddenly, the base alerts him that the storm has changed direction and is now directly above him. He runs out of the ship as the radioactive storm chases him from behind. John reaches the bunker entrance and demands they open the door. The team opens it, but warns they can't keep it open long or the radiation will enter the bunker. John tells them to close it and leaps through just before the door seals behind him. Inside the bunker, his wife Allison has become one of the leaders. She attends a meeting where Adam announces they are running dangerously low on supplies and hopes planting outside may be possible next year. Dr. Amina disagrees, saying it won't work and that the bunker is no longer sustainable. They must leave by air. Canada, the United States, and Iceland are already gone. Allison mentions hearing reports that Western Europe is relatively safer with fewer storms. But she is reminded that radiation still exists and even low exposure is deadly over time. When asked about the crater, Dr. Amina explains that the main fragment of the comet struck Western Europe, forming a massive crater. The surrounding mountains and depth block radioactive winds, making it the best chance for rebuilding life. The general argues that the location is extremely far, and reports indicate violent conflicts already happening there. After the meeting, John visits a psychiatrist who asks how he's coping. John says he's adapted and is told to stay open with his partner. Suddenly, the bunker shakes violently. After a tense moment, it stops. The general assures everyone that if the bunker survived Clark's impact, it can survive an earthquake. Allison brings up a distress signal they received, but Adam insists they can't take in more people. The bunker is already full. Allison pushes for a vote, and the majority chooses to attempt a rescue mission. Their son Nathan now attends school inside the bunker and has developed a fascination with stars. His teacher explains that fragments of the Samar comet are trapped in Earth's gravitational field, forming a ring around the planet. John repairs a damaged water pipeline with a coworker, and they celebrate when the system finally works. Later, Allison and Nathan meet John in the community hall. John gives her the flower he found. Allison worries about his radiation exposure, but thanks him for everything he does. They talk to Nathan, and Allison mentions he was caught outside. John scolds him, reminding him it's dangerous, but Allison jokes that he's becoming just like his father. That night, people gather and dance for a brief moment of normalcy. Later, Nathan sneaks outside to watch the stars, using a sheet with constellation holes. The next morning, a rescue team is deployed under military supervision. They successfully locate survivors and begin returning. Back at the bunker, John notices his friend is nervous as cracks start forming in the walls. The rescue team requests permission to save more people, but Adam refuses. Suddenly, all communication is lost. The bunker begins shaking violently. Power goes out, and massive cracks spread everywhere. People scream as the structure starts collapsing. After the quake, John helps his friend up and runs to find Allison. She's shaken but alive. They rush to Nathan, who already has his mask ready. They grab essentials, including insulin for Nathan, and attempt to evacuate. The main exit is overcrowded, so John leads them to another passage, partially collapsed. They crawl through as debris falls around them. They burst outside just before the entrance collapses behind them. Chaos fills the surface. People run toward the sea. They briefly lose Nathan, but find him helping Dr. Amina at the shore. Lifeboats are overloaded. People fight for masks. Someone tries stealing Adam's mask. During the struggle, John's mask is stolen. They spot an open lifeboat and rush inside, sealing the door despite people begging to enter. The pilot launches immediately. A massive wave forms ahead. The group braces for impact. The tsunami wipes out everyone on shore, but their boat survives. With only a week of supplies, they decide to head toward England. Radiation levels drop, allowing them to remove their masks. Days pass and the boat malfunctions, but John manages to repair it at night. Nathan watches the sky, pointing out stars and comet debris still circling Earth. A meteor streaks across the sky, and they wonder where it will land. The next morning, the boat runs out of fuel and drifts for days until it strikes something submerged. They discover it's Liverpool. Half the city is underwater. They paddle to land and follow other survivors to a guarded rescue bunker. Soldiers demand badges, but only Allison still has hers. Chaos erupts, shots are fired, and Adam is killed. Amid the confusion, John, Allison, Nathan, and Dr. Amina escape as another radioactive storm approaches. They stop a car and trade a watch for a ride. The driver explains the world has become ruthless. Storms appear without warning, and people kill to survive. They head toward London, where Allison believes her friend Mackenzie is alive and prepared. Nathan asks Dr. Amina if the crater is real. She compares it to the dinosaur extinction, saying destruction makes room for new life. As they near London, the driver dismisses the crater as a myth. Suddenly, the ground begins shaking. John grabs Nathan and screams for everyone to hold on. Countless meteors begin raining from the sky. They hold on tightly until the meteor storm settles down a bit. John notices the driver running back toward the car and warns him not to go, since meteors are still falling. The driver says the car is everything he has and keeps running toward it. A meteor fragment crashes down and kills him instantly. After the storm ends, they come out, collect what they can from the car, and begin walking toward London. They eventually arrive at Mackenzie's house. She greets them with a gun at first, but immediately relaxes when she recognizes Allison. She is happy to see them and welcomes them inside. The house is filled with Alzheimer's patients. Mackenzie explains that they don't understand what's happening in the world, and she keeps them calm and happy. This has become her life. They spend the night there. Gunfire is heard in the distance, but Mackenzie insists London is relatively safe, and she's done everything she can to protect this place. Later that night, Allison hears John coughing badly. She checks on him and is shocked to see him coughing up blood. John reveals that years of scouting in radioactive air have taken a toll on him. He tells her he has only 6 weeks left to live. He doesn't want them to worry and says this place isn't where he wants to die. He wants to reach the crater and help them get somewhere safe. Allison says this is a hospital and they can treat him, but John insists he wants to spend his remaining time making sure his family survives. The next morning, they prepare to leave. Mackenzie gives them a car, supplies, and a gun for protection. She tells them they will need a boat once they reach Dover to cross the channel. During the long drive, they play games to pass the time. Suddenly, someone opens fire on their car, trying to steal it. Amina is shot. John grabs the gun and fires back, killing one attacker. Another sneaks up, but John shoots him as well. When John runs out of ammo, Allison grabs a fallen gun and shoots the last attacker. They check on Nathan, who is unharmed, but Amina has died. They bury her, and John says a few words, giving her a proper goodbye, explaining they pray to honor the dead. After several more hours, they reach the English Channel, only to discover the sea is completely gone. Solid land now stretches from Britain to France. They continue driving toward France, but soon traffic stops due to a massive canyon blocking the road. Survivors have built narrow rope bridges to cross. Nathan is scared, but John encourages him. They carefully cross the bridge. Strong winds shake it violently. They reach a platform, but must continue. The ground begins shaking again. An earthquake hits as they crawl across a ladder bridge. People fall into the canyon. The bridge begins collapsing. A man jumps onto their ladder, hitting Nathan. John saves his son as the platform collapses behind them. They barely make it across as everything falls into the canyon. They continue walking through the ruins, unsure if they've reached France. Suddenly, a man points a gun at them. John introduces himself and explains they only want to reach the crater. The man lowers his weapon and welcomes them. He takes them to an abandoned mill, where he lives with his wife and daughter, Camila. He uses solar power and air filtration to survive. His wife is paralyzed from radiation exposure. They share food, and John explains they believe the crater is humanity's last hope. The man warns them the crater is a war zone, defended by the Western Alliance against the Eastern Alliance, fighting for its resources. That night, Camila shows Nathan her room. He shows her his star blanket. Allison asks John what his father told him before entering the bunker. John says he promised to protect her and Nathan. The next morning, the man gives them a map and instructions to avoid the war zone. He tells them to ask for Commander Janet at the Western Alliance base and hands John a photo. He asks them to take Camila with them so she can have a better future. Allison agrees. Camila tearfully says goodbye to her parents and leaves with them. Later, Western Alliance soldiers stop them. Camila speaks in French, explaining who they are and who they are looking for. A soldier secretly helps them move through the battlefield. They pass destroyed vehicles and bodies and reach a Western Alliance bunker. They are taken to a base camp, where Commander Janet was stationed. John shows the photo, only to learn Janet is dead. They are told to leave. John pleads, saying he is dying and only wants his family to reach the crater. The soldier orders room to be made for them on a transport bus. They finally head toward the crater. On the way, bandits attack the bus, killing the guards and driver, forcing everyone off. John stays behind to fight. 2 gunshots are heard. John emerges wounded but alive. They treat him, and Allison drives the bus until it can't go further. They continue on foot, helping John climb the mountains. At the summit, they finally see the crater, fertile land, clean air, fresh water, and clear skies. John tells them to rest, relieved that they made it. He collapses and says he's happy he got them there safely. That he passes away. Nathan recites the same goodbye words they once used before. The survivors look out over the land, knowing it's now their responsibility to rebuild the world with kindness, compassion, and understanding. This was the recap of the movie Greenland 2 Migration. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.